talk about how to demonstrate the multiplication of fractions. This is going to seem a little confusing perhaps at the beginning, but if you'll think with me through a couple problems, I think you'll be able to get it figured out. We're going to start with the problem 1/3 times 1/4. The way to think about this is that the first number tells me, the bottom of the first number tells me that I'm going to divide the other fraction into blank pieces. So that means I'm going to divide this whole fraction into each section of it into 3 pieces. I can do that real easily with my virtual manipulatives because I can divide it and I can divide it again, right? I now have each big section divided into 3 small sections. That's the first step. Whatever the bottom number of the first fraction is tells me I'm going to divide the second fraction into that many pieces. Okay? That's the easy part. The second part's a little bit more confusing, but not overly. Okay? What it tells me is that now I am going to count 1 piece in each shaded section. Oops, actually I don't have it divided into 3. Why did it not divide into 3? Let me click it one more time. Okay. I was lying a minute ago. We didn't have it divided into 3 sections. So now we have it divided into 3 sections. So we took the 1/4, we shaded 1/4 of it, then we divided each of these sections is divided into 3 sections. Right? Now the top part is probably the most confusing, but not tremendously difficult. What you're going to do is you're going to count 1 piece in each. You're going to count this number of pieces, whatever the top of this fraction is, in all the shaded sections. I have 1 shaded section, and I'm going to count 1 piece in that section. So my answer is going to be whatever that piece would be. I'm only going to have 1 piece, and it's going to be 1 piece out of all the sections that we have now. So it's going to be 1 piece out of 12. The answer to the problem is 1/12. Right? Let's try it. Let's try another one, which has a little bit different. It's got more than 1 in both places on the fraction. All right, so let's do 1/4 times 3/5. Okay? What I have to get out is a 1/5 piece and shade 3 of them. So I'm going to start off by building, building whatever the second fraction is. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's shade 3/5. All right, so I have now a representation of that second fraction, 3/5. Now I'm going to look at my first fraction, and it's going to tell me that I have to divide each of those sections into 4, based on the bottom number of this first fraction. This 4 here tells me how many times I'm going to divide it. Right, so I'm going to divide, and I now have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've divided 3 times, which means I have 4 little sections in each of the bigger section. I've got 4 sections here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. Altogether, I now have, you can think about this either now or later, but I now have 20 little sections. Right? Now, the last step, I have to count this many pieces in this many sections, which is the shaded sections. I have 3 shaded sections. I'm going to count 1 piece out of each of them. So I'm going to count this piece, I'm going to count this piece, I'm going to count this piece. Altogether, I have counted 3 pieces out of all the sections, 20. And if you did the multiplication in the traditional way, we would do 1 times 3 is 3, and 4 times 5 is 20. Okay? And so we can see that we actually do have the same answer. Okay, let's do one more problem, which has a number other than 1 in both places. So let's do, let's see, since I have fifths out, let's do, well, that won't help, okay. 2/5 times 2/3. Right? While I'm doing this, think about which fraction piece am I going to get out. Okay, let me erase this one. All right, I'm going to go with the second fraction in the problem. So I am going to actually get something that will represent 2/3. I bring out the thirds bar, I shape 2 sections. Okay. The next step, I'm going to divide each section into how many pieces? 5, because the number on the bottom number, the denominator on the first fraction is 5. So I'm going to divide it. Okay, I've got 2, I've got 3, I've got 4, I've got 5. Okay. I now have 5 pieces in each section. Okay. Let's get rid of our 20, because we don't have 20 pieces anymore. Okay. How many pieces do I have now? I had 3 big pieces originally. I divided each of them into 5 pieces. So I have 15. Okay. Now, what's going to happen? How many pieces am I going to count in each shaded section? This top number tells me. So in each shaded section, I'm going to count 2 pieces. So I'm going to have these 2 from this section and these 2 from this section. Altogether, I have counted 4 pieces out of the total number of pieces that I have, which is 15. And again, if I multiplied it using the regular multiplication algorithm, I would do 2 times 2 is 4, I would do 3 times 5 is 15, and I would have the answer.